Here are 9 through 13 on the first day of 7-4. You are going to be given information, and you have to state the rule for a sign. They're all sign problems. So for number 9, we've got an amplitude of 5. We have no reflection, but the period is pi over 4. You're going to set this equal to 2 pi over b. We have to find b. The phase shift is negative 2 pi over 3 units to the left, and it's up 2. Easy. So how will you write this problem out? This is an amplitude of 5. So it's going to be y equals 5 sine. I need the b value. How are you going to find the b value? You're going to take pi over 4 and set it equal to 2 pi over b and solve for b. So that's the only math you really have to do. How do you solve for b on this problem? Cross multiply. Can you give me the information here? So pi b is equal to 8 pi. What happens to the pi's? They cancel. What's b? 8. So that's the number that goes here, 8. So you have to find b in order to put that number there. Now it's going to be a phase shift of 2 pi over 3 to the left, so this is where it's the opposite, 2 pi over 3. And then up 2, where do you put up 2? Right here, plus 2. Next one. This one is an amplitude of 2. It's a reflection over the x-axis. Period is 3 pi. You're going to set this equal to 2 pi over b. How do you find b? b is what? 3 pi b is equal to 2 pi. The pi's cancel. What's b? b is 2/3. It's a phase shift of pi over 4 to the right and 3 down. So can I get the equation here? What is it? Y equals negative 2 sine 2/3
t minus pi 4
Very good.
minus 3.
Excellent. Perfect. Good job. Number 11. So help me find the b value. What do you get? I get 5 pi b equals 6 pi. What is it? 6 over 5. That's your b value. So can you give me the equation? Y is equal to, amplitude is 1, 6 over 5, x minus 1.5, and that's it. Next one. Amplitude is 3. It's reflected over the x-axis. Your period is 8 pi, so set this equal to 2 pi over b. What's the b value? You have 8 pi equals 2 pi. 8 pi b, I should say. 8 pi b is equal to 2 pi. 1/4. Good job. So y is equal to sine, oops, what do I put in front? 3. What kind of 3? Negative 3. Negative 3 sine 1/4 x minus pi over 2. Is that 0.5?
Yeah.
Plus a half. Oh, half down. Minus 1/2. Last one. Amplitude. So this is a vertical compression by a half. How do you find the b value? 1/2 equals 2 pi over b. So what's b equal to? 4 pi. So you're going to put 4 pi outside. X what do I do? Plus a 3 pi over 4 or minus 3 pi over 4?
Plus.
Plus 3 pi over 4, and it's 4 up. Plus 4. Easy? Okay, the next set. How do you do tangent and cotangent? These ones are a little different. What you have to do is remember, when we did tangent, do you guys remember where we started? So if I asked you to graph the tangent curve, do you remember what the first thing we did was? We drew our first asymptote at pi over 2. And if you went backwards, so after the y-axis, your first asymptote is pi over 2. And it looked like this, right? How many increments did we have? We had 2 increments. This is one increment, and here's the other increment. 2 increments for tangent and cotangent. But your first asymptote was set equal to pi over 2. So for these ones, instead of doing a phase shift, you're going to look for your first asymptote. All you do, simply, is take this whole piece right here. I put it in yellow for you. You're going to take 3t minus pi, and you're going to set it equal to pi over 2 to find your start position. Your start position is your first asymptote. So how did I do this? I did 3t minus pi equals pi over 2. I added this pi over here, and I divided by 3. So t is pi over 2. That's your first asymptote. Pi over 2 is where you're going to start. So instead of a phase shift, we call this your first asymptote. Now, how did you do the other stuff? Well, the other stuff's easy. The steepness is 2. Your period is, instead of 2 pi over b, it's pi over b. So pi over 3, and then you're going to cut this, so your period is pi over 3. You're going to cut this into 2 increments. So divide it by 2, you get pi over 6. So your increments are, you're adding pi over 6 to this, but this is your start position, pi over 2. How are we going to add pi over 6 when we're starting at pi over 2? Well, simply, you're going to turn this into 6's. So this is going to be 3 pi over 6. 3 pi over 6 is another name for pi over 2. So you're going to start at 3 pi over 6 and add increments of pi over 6. So 3 pi over 6, 4 pi over 6, 5 pi over 6, 6 pi over 6, 7 pi over 6. So draw your asymptotes and then do your vertical shift 4 up, and your steepness is 2. In the middle, go up 2, in the middle, go down 2. So this is 2 full periods. What's the difference between this one and tangent? Or cotangent, I'm sorry. Cotangent, do you remember where your first asymptote was? It was at 0. So now instead of setting this equal to 2 pi over 2, you're going to set it equal to 0. And I show you right here, you're going to set 2t plus 2 pi equal to 0. So subtract 2 pi, divide by 2. So you're going to start at negative pi here. That's your first asymptote. But when you do your steepness, which is 3, and your period is pi over 2, because b is 2, cut this into 2 parts, you get pi over 4. Now, what you're going to do is get negative pi, that's your start position, get this in fourths. So negative 4 pi over 4 is where you start. You're going to start here at negative 4 pi over 4. And when you add pi over 4, you get negative 3 pi over 4, negative 2 pi over 4, and then so forth. And then draw your asymptotes in, and your cotangent looks like a negative slope line. You're going to go backwards 3 units up and 3 units down and draw your curve. Okay, and here's another example. You can just look at it. It's the same as example 1. So let's do these ones. See if you can do this. Tell me what the steepness is on this one. 2. Your period, you're going to take pi and divide it. What's the b value? All you need to know is what b is. 3. You don't have to pull it out. How do you do the increments? How many increments are there for the tangent and cotangent? There's 2 increments, so you divide this period by 2. So pi over 6. You're counting by pi over 6. But I need to find my first at my start position. So what you do is you take this piece right here, so 3t plus pi over 4, and set it equal to pi over 2. Now, how good is your algebra? Because you got to solve for t. T is your first asymptote.
Hold on.
Okay, I'll slow down. You set 3t plus pi over 4, the stuff that's in parentheses, equal to pi over 2. Why pi? Where did pi over 2 come from? Because in the parent function of the tangent, the first asymptote was at pi over 2. So we're going to see where the phase shift, where it starts, where our first asymptote is.
Pi over 12.
No, I can't.
Tell me what to do. Let's do it. Don't try.
Minus pi over 4.
Pi over 4, good. So subtract pi over 4. That's why I left a little bit of room here. So you get 3t equals, I'm going to get a common denominator here. So 2 pi over 4 minus pi over 4 is? Pi over 4. Now, how do I get rid of this 3? I'm going to multiply by 1/3. What did you think it was, Courtney?
Pi over 12.
Did you say that?
Yeah.
Yep, good job. So this is your first asymptote. You're going to start here. So this is what I do. Just write pi over 12 right here. That's your start. And draw your asymptote like this. That's your start position. Now, how the heck are we going to count by pi over 6 if this is pi over 12? Can we turn this into something else?
Yeah.
What can we turn this into?
Pi over 12.
Good, 2 pi over 12. It's the same thing as pi over 6. But why do we like 2 pi over 12? Because you can count by 2. You can you add 2 pi over 12 to get the next number? What do you get? 3 pi over 12. Can you add 2 pi to this one? 5 pi over 12. And guess what that 5 pi over 12 is? It's another asymptote. And what's the next number? 7 pi over 12. What's the next one? 9 pi over 12.
And look, another asymptote.
And look, another asymptote. So that's what I'm looking for, are these numbers down here. This is your start position, and you're counting by 2 pi over 12. Now, how would I finish this graph off? Where do I go?
1 down.
1 down. Excellent. 1 down. Right here. Now, I know you guys just took a test on this. What is the shape of it? These are your zeros, and what's it going to look like? It's a tan 2.
So we're
Up 2 and down 2. And draw your curve. And they're only asking you for 2 periods. There's 2 periods right there. Easy? Okay, do another one. What's wrong with this problem? It's out of order. It should read cotangent 2t minus pi over 2 plus 2. This is a vertical shift 2 up. That's what that plus 2 was right there. So tell me, what's the steepness on this one? 1. Good, 1. How do you find the period? You're going to do pi over 2. How do you figure out the increments? Cut this in half.
Yeah.
So it's pi over 4. So you're going to be adding by pi over 4, but I need to find the first asymptote. So what you do, it's a cotangent problem. You're going to take 2t minus pi over 2 and set this equal to 0. Why 0? Because the cotangent graph, the first asymptote was at 0 when we did them last week. How do you solve for t? You're going to add 2 pi. Not 2 pi, pi over 2. And then do what? Multiply by a half or divide by 2. I like multiplying by a half. Where's your first asymptote? At pi over 4. Hallelujah. What's that? The same increment. So what we're going to do, we're gonna start at pi over 4, and we're counting by pi over 4s. So you have 1 pi over 4, then you're gonna have 2 pi over 4, and then you're gonna have 3 pi over 4. Where are your asymptotes? Well, the first one is where we found it. And then 3 pi over 4. Where's your next asymptote gonna be? 5 pi over 4. What do I do now?
Right.
Go where?
Oh, 2 up.
2 up. And then what?
Then graph it.
Graph it. How does it look? We're gonna go, it's a backwards graph, right? It's like this. Do you get this?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, we're gonna do one more. I want you to read 3 on your own. Go through it. But let's do 4. Okay, let me hear you. Steepness, what? 2. Period.
Pi over 4.
Good. 1/4. Yep. What is pi over 1/4?
4 pi.
Yep. Then what? Cut this into half. So what's your increments? 2 pi. How do you find your first asymptote? Set this equal to what?
0.
0?
Pi over 2.
Pi over 2. So you got 1/4 t minus pi equals pi over 2. What do you do? What's pi over 2 plus pi? Multiply by 2, multiply by 2, so 3 pi over 2. Then what?
4.
Multiply by 4. And what's t equal to? 6 pi. So where is your first asymptote?
6.
6 pi. So what you're gonna do, just draw a vertical line like this. And label this what?
6 pi.
6 pi. What are we counting by? 2 pi. So what's your next increment gonna be? 8 pi. Then what? 10 pi. What's 10 pi? An asymptote. Then what? 12 pi. Then 14 pi. What's 14 pi? Another asymptote. Okay. The directions say graph 2 full periods, so that will be 2 full periods. What's my vertical shift? So what do I do now? Where do I go? What do I do? How do I do 1 down?
It looks like a cotangent.
First do that.
It looks
This
like a
is
cotangent
-1.
Because it's negative.
So Courtney, what are you saying? 'Cause you're right.
So up 1,
To the left.
Yeah.
Do I go this way?
No, to the left.
This way?
Yeah.
How many?
1,
1?
I mean 2.
2. And should we do another one? Yeah, absolutely. If it says 2, period. Do you get this? That's it.